see if how far we need to go with it. Let's be honest with you. Part of me wanted to go, part of me wanted to stay. I got a truck that I got one of my boys are coming over to fix. It's got a mess in it. I need to get home for that. Hopefully he's coming over. But I thought, the Lord gave me this. Boy, it's just us and the Lord. And you really pray. I'm not gonna try to work it up. But what a great opportunity it'd be. There's not a big crowd here. And that's okay with me. We've been low at church where I go to. Out of the pastor, I went the other night and the Lord blessed me to preach a little bit. We had 5 people there. I felt like I preached. I was happy to be there. So size don't bother me none. Everybody's left. No, we're here. And if Mike, if God can pass by and we can say a few things and feel like his drawing power, it'd be a good time for somebody to get saved. Because you Memphis people that we came back for a reason. Again, I didn't come to be seen, but I come hoping that God passed by, the invitation, go back out, stir the hearts of his people. Again, that he wants to get saved, they come. We never know what God has in store for me, but I know one thing, it's going to be good. So I'll read this. It's what Ezekiel had. And maybe I'll say just a few words on it. But you pray much. The 37th chapter of Ezekiel. And I guess I'm on the first part of it. I want you to understand a few things. It said, the hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. And I'll start that by saying this. The key to that scripture is this wasn't a physical, as far as I'm concerned, this wasn't a physical valley they put him in. He didn't walk him out in the field and show him some valley, but he said the hand of the Lord was upon me. Well, I tell you what, I'm glad God's work isn't as much a physical work as it is a spiritual work. He said we battle not flesh and blood, but we battle with the powers and principalities. It's an inward battle. And when God showed Ezekiel this, I believe it was a spiritual sight that he showed him. Honestly, I believe he is like he was with me this week when I was walking around and reading, and even at work from time to time, Merritt. I'd leave my workplace a little bit, not physically, I was there. But my mind and my thoughts and my desires was in a heavenly place, Mike. And God was able to work with me and show me a few things, what the scriptures is. You got to be able to rightly divide. But he said the hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit and set me down in a valley that was full of bones. And he said, son, he said, can thou livest? I'm glad right out of my heart God already knows, but he wanted Ezekiel to understand a few things. And he wants you to understand a few things. Even though we're got breath in our body, even though we can walk around, and even though we might have strength to pick up big objects, if we've never been saved by God's good grace, we just full of dead bones. They're dry in their parts. They're headed down. They need life in them. He said, son of man, prophesy unto them. Boy, I'm glad that the gospel goes out. It'll let you know. The Bible said it cuts coming and going. It'll find you no matter where you're at. It'll show you your shortcomings. I had some ladies come to our church one time. And the Lord blessed me to preach. And they had a friend that was a member there. And they visited with her. I got out in the parking lot after church. They were plumb mad. They looked at her. We call her Cookie. And Cookie looked down and said, "What's wrong with you?" They said, "You went in there before church started, and you told that preacher everything about it." Cookie just started laughing. She said, "That wasn't him, that was God. And he'll find you right where you are." That's the great thing. You can hide things from me. You can hide things from mom and dad. But you can't hide from God. And if you turn him away, understand this. You're not turning Melvin away. You're not turning me away. It used to bother me when I was a young preacher. I'd preach and I'd give an invitation. One day I was crying out to God. I said, "God, it seems like I ain't getting nowhere. I can't get nobody to move." He let me know real quick. It wasn't me that was going to move them anyway. If you reject the voice of God, you rejected the one that created the heaven and the earth. It's not about me. It's about God. Your salvation is going to be personal. Ezekiel, the Lord showed him something. And the Lord wants to show you something. That this world's not the end of it. This world that we look and we see, and we can tell there's a real and true living God. This is not the end. Really, this is just the beginning. One of these days I'm going to die. And I'll step out of time into eternity. That's forever. The best I can tell you. It's one, as far as I can tell and persuaded by. It's just one eternal day. And I'm glad. Actually, I'm already in that day. Because I got saved by God's good grace. And you need that day in your life more than you need your next breath. There's a lot of things that'll come and go. But salvation, when you get that, one writer said, "I just begun to live. I came alive." That's why he told Ezekiel, I said, "Preach to him." And he brought sinews up, bone to bone, flesh upon flesh. Folks, I want you to know something. God created something that he loved and that he wanted to look to him that he might glorify in. And that's you. And that's me. He created the heavens and the earth. He created that for us. The animals of the field. He told him, he said, "You name them. They're for your glory." He said, "But let us make man for our glory." He was talking to his son. God wants you to choose him. He don't want you to choose him. He don't want you to choose wrong. But he wants you. That's why he sent his son here, solely and purposely, not to make himself any greater. He already was the Son of God. How much bigger can you get? But he brought him here, allowed him to come, allowed him to die, allowed him to get up the third and appointed morning for our justification, so we could have a way back in to the sheepfold. Well, I tell you what, the world's a dry, desolate place. And if you stay out there too long, you're going to die and go to hell. Because time has no respect on nobody. I've had to do funerals for little bitty babies. My only hope in that is they did not know any evil. Like I believe they's okay. I believe they went back to God. And I'm thankful. I don't know if I've ever had to do a funeral of somebody I knowed for sure wasn't saved. Here's the only thing I can tell you. In them cases, about the only thing you can say is they fell in the hands of a just God. Yeah. And I hope somewhere they made their election sure. Well, I tell you what, I tried to tell my kids, and Jeannie's really, me and her both got aggravated because
Cameron kind of missed his deadline for college this year. And she said he was a dead duck if he don't go next year. So he's pretty much trying to get his ducks in a row. We want him to prosper and have education so they can do the best. But what he sung about right up here, that's the most important ingredient. Because all the other, it's going to come to an end one of these days. And I tell my kids, and I think it's awesome what Austin's been able to do on a golf course. I told him I follow him on with the net. She's pretty good about posting his tournaments and the things he's done. That's awesome. And I'm tickled plumb to death for him. And I hope he can go as far as he can. But I tell you what he got as a little boy is way more important than hitting a golf ball across him. Because one of these days, if the Lord blesses him to live long enough, he might not be able to swing that club. But he can still, I'd say I'm saved by God's good grace. In my journey, I might be about over, but I'm ready to go home. That's the important thing. I enjoy life to the fullest, but keep God in the middle of it. Let Him lead you and guide you in all your endeavors. And if you'll do that, you'll go away happy. I'm done. You need to be saved more than anything. If they give me just one verse of course on my way home, I'd like to pray for you. I'd like for you to come. And I'm persuaded that it's not about what you can offer God, but it's about what God's offering you. And it's something that you can't see with the natural eyes. That's what makes it so hard. But it's a feeling down in here. God said, I am a spirit. And if you worship me, you will worship me in spirit and truth. You're not going to find Him out here in some field, or you're not going to find Him with these eyes. But you're going to let your heart tell you what you got. I never seen Him, but boy, I tell you what. Here's the interesting thing, and I asked True and Parton not too long ago. I'll give him time. If you got a song, come on up. And we'll sing it. We'll stand and maybe get them. I remember when I got under conviction, they were having a tent meeting at a church called Lafayette Missionary Baptist Church. They were building that church. And they had a big tent set up. And they were having a revival. And I went there and I was playing, going along pretty good. All of a sudden, something hit me like a rock. I got in trouble. And I knew something wasn't right. I'd been raised in church. I had some knowledge about this thing called being saved. And I'd watched them do some things. I often wondered who was preaching that revival. I never know. I know I got under conviction that night. The Lord touched my heart. And it didn't matter. I asked Truman at a funeral just not too long ago, about a month or two, my aunt passed away. I said, who was holding that revival, Truman? LSU Hospital. Somebody, okay. Still didn't change nothing. I was under conviction. You'll know when God's speaking to you, is what I'm trying to say. Whether you want to admit it or whether you don't. You will know, and you will be without an excuse. I'm going to ask you to stand. I know it's short, and I know there's not a lot of people here, but I tell you what, you're in that same field, in that same valley. I'm just going to preach it like that. You're in that valley that Ezekiel looked at. You are in that valley, and there's nothing but dryness, parchness, and there's nothing but death out there. Boy, if you can't get no water, you're going to die eventually. And it's a real important thing. Life is very precious. And I want you to live to be an old person. I'm not telling you dying tomorrow, but I'm telling you, this thing called salvation, you ought to treat it like you are dying tomorrow. Because you need it that bad. While they sing, will you come? Be honest with yourself.
What you need
Be honest
You
with
keep
yourself.
on searching. I've done all the work,
Jesus.
but you keep on working.
Jesus.
When you're running on empty
It's all about
and you
Him, not
can't
about you.
find the remedy, just come to the well.
Come to the well.
You can spend your whole life chasing what's missing, but that empty
I gave you two
side,
options. If I gave you
it just
dry
ain't
parts of
gonna
desert, or
listen.
if I gave you green grass, I'm sure everybody
Nothing
would go
can
to the green side.
satisfy.
There'd be
And
water
the
over
world
there.
leaves
That's
you
the
high and
evidence
dry.
of it.
Just come to the
Jesus is
well.
actually offering you life. He's
Where all
asking, He's
who
offering that
thirst
green part.
will thirst
Now you gotta
no more.
You gotta choose it.
And all who search will find what their souls long for. The world will try, but it can never
I believe in my heart it's
feel.
just a step.
So leave it all behind
It's just a step.
and come to the well.
Come on.
So bring me your heart,
Whatever your
no
battle
matter
is,
how broken.
whatever Satan's putting before
Just
you,
come
and he's
as
saying
you
you
are.
can't do that, just
Your
throw it
last
aside.
prayer is spoken.
Ask God for some strength.
Just
He'll help
rest
you with
in
it.
my arms a
Well,
while.
I sat there, I said, Lord, I don't want to die like this. You are going to have to help me.
You
And He
came
did.
to the well.
He gave me everything
Where
I
all
needed.
who
He supplied me with it all.
thirst no
Help me with the move.
and all who search
All I had to do is, like Mel said,
find
throw my little
what
flag
their
up, say, here I am, Lord.
souls long
I need you to save me.
for. The world will try, but it can never feel. So leave it all behind.
I really wish I could get saved for
And
you.
come to the well.
I do. I'm not saying that just to be saying it. I really wish I do.
Now that you're
If you
full
can feel what I feel,
of love
get right.
beyond measure, your joy's gonna flow like a stream in the desert.
Yeah.
And soon all the world will see that living water is found in me. 'Cause you came to the well, where all who thirst
That lady was
will
there.
thirst no
She
more.
ran down to where her
And
family
all who
was.
search
She said, "Come see a man that
what
took
their
all that everybody
souls long.
It's not listening, son. She was happy.
The world will
She
try,
wanted her
but it
family
can
to have.
never feel. So leave it all behind and come to the well. Leave it all behind and come to the well.
I appreciate you. I love you. And hopefully, before long, the Lord let me come back through here. If not, I hope that Melvin texts me, calls me, or something somewhere down the road and say, "Hey, Perry, this one got saved.
Yeah.
Hey, Perry, that one got saved." I don't have to be here. I don't care if I'm preaching. I just want them to get in, Melvin, because I know where life's at, and it's not in that valley out there that you call world. It's in the Lord, and it begins in your heart. You need that, and you really need to strive. The Bible says strive. And He also told us this, and I'll shut up. I swear I will, if I'm allowed to swear in church. But He said, "Draw nigh unto me." He said, "I'll draw nigh unto you." He made you a promise. He said, "Strive to enter into at the gate." There's going to be a little tough battle there, but you can do it, because we have.
Yeah, all of us.
And I'm no better than you. I'm just a sinner saved by God's good grace. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the invite.
Bless
I've
you,
enjoyed my day.
Yeah.